All right, gang, day 3 of talking about the client who is losing $2,000 a month in her business. So we very briefly touched on pricing, and I think my pricing for profits course needs to make a comeback, because I just forget how many people are just making stuff up because they don't know how, which is fine. Nobody blames you for not knowing how. But once you're aware of it, you have to address it. So this lady, she said they took over the shop and the prices were already set and they were really low, and she's really finding it hard to bring them up to where they need to be. I haven't done any poking around in her pricing as such, but I will have a little look later because I'm nosy. So most people, and I say this because bear in mind I have 6 years of experience of teaching a course to God knows how many salon owners who, you know, some of them had been at it for 20 years, like, oh my God, I didn't know. That's it. That's what they kept saying. I didn't know we had to work it out like that. I didn't know that. I'm working at a loss. Oh, imagine how much money I could have made over the years if I priced my services properly in the first place. And what I think people are failing to realise is being cheaper isn't a thing. Like, you can be as cheap as you like, but you are going to get resentful, you're going to be burned out, you're going to be tired, you're going to be busy, probably. But that doesn't mean that you're actually going to be able to then pay your own bills, because being busy doesn't equate to having proper money in the bank. So again, I'll have to have another conversation with her, but 50 quid for an hour was mentioned. So a £50 service for an hour's work, but she's got staff, she's got a shop, she's got all of these different overheads, and she did say tight margins. That was what I was meant to say in my other video, tight margins. So she, on that 50 quid, she might only be getting 15, 20 quid, because it sounds like a lot of money, but when you realise all the costs that have to come out of that hour, that rate, you're then left with literally nothing, probably less than minimum wage for a lot of people. And then you start to realise, okay, this is actually more of the business is running at a loss rather than the most obvious part of it. Again, I don't know the ins and outs because we only had like 45 minutes. So yeah, like you, and then this is something that I really want to encourage you lot to have a look at. Sit down, find out how much money you need to exist, because she is a shop owner, to be fair, with staff, whereas a lot of you are solo business owners. But the same thing's there. You need to know exactly how much you need to live your life and be comfortable. You need to keep your lights on money, then you need your comfortable money, then you need your, right, I'm very, very comfortable money. But right now, some of you might be working at a loss and you don't even understand. But if you don't understand that, can you drop 500 quid on something if you need it tomorrow? Yes or no? Can you take a month off work because you're ill? Yes or no? Are you covered? No. A lot of you cannot, and I know that for a fact because I've done this for years. You cannot take a month off, because if you stop, the business stops. Then you've got a problem, like a lot of problems. So you need to make sure that you are making enough money every single day, and doing pricing for profits is a big job, but it is that difference between struggling and just being comfortable and knowing that you'll be okay if something happens in your life, which it does, by the way. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are, how fucking clever you think you are, something will knock you off your feet at some point. Probably. Unless you're really, really, really lucky and nothing ever happens to you. But for most people, something will knock you off your feet, so you want to make sure that you're prepared for that. And I know nobody cares about being prepared. Most people will deal with a problem when it arises. However, from experience, it is better to be a little bit prepared, just a little bit. So I think I've covered everything on the pricing. You need to make sure that your prices are up to scratch, and you need to work them out properly, not just a case of, well, that sounds about right, because the reality is, have you got enough money coming into your bank every single month? Yes or no? No. Then you need to figure it out. Yes, carry on as you are. Be gone. Okay. That is it. Any questions, chuck them in the comments and I'll come back to them. See you later, girls. Bye.